Hello, everyone, and welcome to SK Economics. So, I hope you guys have watched my first video on the previous year questions analysis of DEPR Phase 2. So, in that video, I discussed the past year questions asked from Section A, that is from the core subjects of economics. Now, in this video, I'll try to discuss the questions asked from Section B, that is what RBI is asked from Indian economy. Now, in section B, as I have already informed that there will be 5 questions from Indian economy, and like here now the questions can be anything from Indian economy. So they can ask questions from various sectors of Indian economy, such as agriculture, manufacturing, services, monetary policy, fiscal policy, poverty, and so on. So here you need to cover a wide you know area of basically different sectors you need to cover here. And what I have tried is that I have categorized the previous year questions based on the different sectors of Indian economy. So for example, what are the questions they asked from agriculture, then what are the questions they have asked from manufacturing. So this I have done here. Now first let us look at the questions that have been asked from the agriculture sector. Now if you look at 2008, so they had given this data table, and here basically you were given the size of land holdings, and then the percentage of households and the percentage of areas sold. And then you were asked that what do you observe from this table, and then in what ways inequality in land holding affect rural poverty. So basically here you can see that there is increase in the inequality in land holding, because the marginal land holdings, they have increased from 66% to 79%, if we look at the period from 1982 to 2003. So I think very basic question. And the third question as well, so not a very difficult one. Now in 2009, if you look at, so bring out the role of the agriculture sector in the current stage of development in India, and is the targeted growth rate for the agriculture sector in the 11th 5-year plan in India attainable? And then you have to give reasons for your answer. Now guys, if you look at the agriculture sector, uh, you can say that the questions can come from 3 heads. That is, first, the importance of agriculture sector; second, the problems that are there in the agriculture sector; and then third, the solutions, right? So you can always categorize, the questions from agriculture sector into these 3 subheads. Now, if you look at this question that came in 2009, so first part you can say it was based on the importance of agriculture sector. Now the second part, now that was the time of the 11th 5-year plan, but now of course we do not follow this 5-year plan thing. So now looking at the present context, what they can ask about the the scheme of doubling of farmers income. So they can ask, what is the status, have we doubled the farmers income, and if not, till when we can achieve the target of doubling the farmers income, what are the steps that the government is taking, and what do you suggest? So they can ask the same question. The first part they can retain, and the second part, they can replace this 5-year plan with the scheme of the doubling of farmers income, right? Now in 2011, again, just look at this. What is the significance of agriculture to the Indian economy? So basically they repeated the 2009 question, the first part of 2009 question. And again, this was with respect to the importance of agriculture to the Indian economy. Again in 2012, and now this time a short note was asked on the importance of agriculture in the Indian economy. Then 13, there was no question. In 14, discuss the measures undertaken by the government recently to improve the marketing of agricultural products in India. So again, here, the solutions. So solutions are here, you can include the fourth head, that is the the government steps. So government from time to time, comes up with various schemes and programs, initiatives in the agriculture sector. So that also you need to cover. So here it was asked that what steps the government has taken to improve the marketing of agriculture products. So agriculture marketing, it is a very a critical and a very hot issue that is asked in various exams. Then 2018, what are the main challenges faced by the agriculture sector? So again, as I said, problems. So here you can link it to the problems of the agriculture sector. Again in 2019, improvement in agriculture infrastructure can reduce poor farmers' cost of inputs, increase agriculture production, get better access to market to end traders' monopoly. So this big statement was given, and then we had to comment on this statement, and then we had to examine the present status of agriculture infrastructure in India. So this was basically related to the problems of the agriculture sector, that is with respect to the agriculture infrastructure. And then you had to discuss something, some points regarding the solutions as well. So basically, guys, if in agriculture, if you prepare these 4 points, I think you will be able to answer any question that comes in this year's exam. Also, in the agriculture sector, prepare especially the role of agriculture during the COVID, because agriculture was the only sector which remained resilient, which registered a positive growth rate during COVID. So, what are the reasons behind the positive growth rate of agriculture sector? All right. Okay, now let us discuss the questions which have been asked from the manufacturing sector. So far they haven't really asked too much from the manufacturing sector. So if you look at 2008, no question was asked. 2009, they asked a question on special economic zones, and with respect to comparison with China and so on. Then 3 years, no question. 2011, 12, 13. 2016, they asked, discuss the latest activities undertaken by the government to encourage the manufacturing sector in India. So this was, after the time of Make in India was announced. And then they basically repeated this question. That is, they asked to write a short note on ease of doing business. So I think here as well, at least prepare the basics of the manufacturing sector. I mean, they have a lot that they can ask. Why the share of manufacturing sector has remained stagnant at around 15 to 16% since 1991 reforms. The PLI scheme, guys, very important and very so much in news these days. So the importance of PLI scheme, the role it has played so far, and the potential that it possesses. The Make in India, there have been it has been so many years this scheme was launched. So what has been the performance, and the recommendations that you can give, and then integration of India into the global value chain, and so on. There are so many topics in the manufacturing sector from which they can pick up a question. But usually, I mean, the trend so far is that they haven't really asked too much from the manufacturing sector. Okay, now services sector, again, similar to the manufacturing sector, they haven't asked much from the services sector. If we look at 2008, so basically they had given this data, and then so this question, a very theoretical question, mentioned the items included in the services sector, and this was a 4 marker. So maybe they can ask this as a short note this time in a 5 marker. So guys, just take a just note down what are the items included in the services sector, and then basic, what did you get from this table, and then try to account for the increasing role of services from demand and supply side factors. So I mean, okay, you can handle this. Then 2009, there was a short note asked on jobless growth with respect to India. So basically, services sector, we know that it contributes highest to the Indian economy, but the employment in the share in employment is not commensurate with respect to the its share in GDP. That is, we say that the employment elasticity of the services sector, that is very low. So what is the reason behind this? And this is what is called the jobless growth. That is, the Indian economy witnessed growth, but it was jobless. Not enough jobs were created, and it was because the growth was all led by the services sector. Then again, in 2011, what has been the significance of the services sector as a driver for economic growth in India since 1990? So, I mean, a very open question, very big question. So, yeah, just prepare notes on this as well. Then in 2018, I think a short note was asked on the impact of service-led growth. So again, the basic theme here with the services sector is of this jobless growth, because that is associated with the services sector. So prepare this thing, and then these small things, that is the items including the services sector, and the role played by the services sector during the COVID. The impact, because the contact intensive services sector, they were uh, affected very, in a very negative way. I mean, still I'm not sure if they are post pandemic, uh, because repeatedly the COVID waves, they keep on happening, and the contact intensive services are the ones which have been the hardest hit. So just prepare on these lines for the services sector.